welcome to the Film and TV channel. Today we're going to have a look at a film called Spencer. Yes, a 12A certificate. Just under 2 hours, 117 minutes. Did it feel like 2 hours to me? It probably did, this one, to be honest with you. Yes, what's this one about? Well, it's got Kristen Stewart starring as Diana, Princess of Wales, of course, née Spencer. Timothy Spall even is equity major Alistair Gregory. He's based on David Walker. Jack Farthing as Charles, Prince of Wales. Sean Harris as Darren McGrady, the royal head chef. And Sally Hawkins as Maggie, the royal dresser. Yeah, so we'll not go on about the Queen and things like this. There's very little actually screen time for any of the other royal families members. During her Christmas holidays with the royal family at the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, Diana Spencer, struggling with mental health problems, decides to end her decade-long marriage to Prince Charles. So that's the story. So what are people thinking? Well, as at the 17th of November 2021, at approximately 3 p.m, these are the following comments and scores that have been left by various critics and sites. Rotten Tomatoes, yes, 84% of 251 critics gave the film a positive review. An average rating of 7.6 out of 10, so they quite liked it, didn't they? 211 fresh and 40 rotten. The consensus reads, Spencer can frustrate with its idiosyncratic depiction of its subject's life. It certainly did me. But Kristen Stewart's finely modulated performance anchors the film's flights of fancy. Not too sure about that. Peter Bradshaw, he was quite liking it. He's from The Guardian. He said, this is an enjoyable, strange spectacle, perhaps best appreciated by taking it less seriously than its creators intended. Yeah, perhaps if I'd looked at it as more a comedy, perhaps I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. Brian Lowry is rotten on this, CNN.com. He said, once you get past how Stewart captures Diane's look and spirit, there's not much more to see or learn. Yep. Rotten Tomatoes audience, they quite like it. Yeah, not as enthusiastic as the critics, just 3 out of 5, which works out as 6 out of 10. Metacritic, the other site we have a quick look at, the film has a weighted average of 77 out of 100. So again, like the Rotten Tomatoes, quite high scores. That's based on 52 critics, and it did score anywhere between 50 and 100 out of 100. I think there's 3 scores of 100 out of 100. 10 out of 10. No, not a chance. BBC's Nicholas Barber gave it 60 out of 100 and said Stewart is such inspired casting that she makes all this eccentric nonsense watchable. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. If I'd enjoyed Stewart's performance, probably would have made it watchable. The Hollywood Reporter, David Rooney, he gave it 80 out of 100. As you can tell from my comments, I'm pretty much in minority on this one, but I'll go with it. I don't mind that. Not everything lands in Spencer, says David, and I often wondered if the film was set on booking convention that it would alienate its audience, but it tells a sorrowful story we all think we know in a new and genuinely disturbing light. Well, it didn't tell it in anything I didn't already thought I knew anyway, let's be honest about it. Internet Movie Database, Joe Public. This is where it all matters, and this is where, again, I'm slightly in the minority on this one again. Overall, 7.3 out of 10, so a very healthy score. That's based on 6,875 scores and reviews left. Of that 6,875, 5,510 people scored it 6 or more. My figure that I like to see for a watchable film. That's 80% of the total. So, hey, not too shabby, is it? But it brings me on to my thoughts, and I've made little comments, as you can gather from reading this. And I'll have to admit, although many of the later reviews I was reading, I read about 20 reviews, and they're mainly negative, to be honest with you. Obviously, that's not reflected in the overall score, is it? So I'm not sure what that tells me. It will tell me something's going on. There's a fewer people had left a score and review, but when it's up in the thousands, obviously you've got to say, well, it's fair enough. You know, only so many ringers can put in scores and try and build a review up. But yeah, a lot of people seem to like this and have scored it well, although they might not left the comments as to why they've scored it well. But there you go. I did sort of look forward to this because I had made the mistake of looking at some reviews and it was all positive. So I sort of fancy this, and I don't mind royal family stuff. I quite like royal family stuff, whether it's true or on film, etc. Either for or against. I'm not bothered. I'm not for or against. I'll take both aspects. For the royal family, against the royal family, and everything in between. But I'll be honest with you, I just thought this was pretty awful as a film. I just kept watching, hoping that they would show a bit of life in it, a bit of life in not just Diana, but everyone else. The whole thing was pretty drab. Any character, whether a servant or another member of the royal family, just a bit of life in them at all. There was no life in the old dogs, that was for sure. At this Christmas too. It's supposed to be Christmas. It's more like obviously a wake carrying on for the weekend. Perhaps that's what it's like, but I can't see it being as bad as what this is showing. Of course, only a handful of players come into this. As I said, obviously, Diana herself is the main aspect of this thing, and obviously Timothy Spall comes into it with his character, and Prince Charles with his character, etc. But it was a lost cause, really. None of them really I could invest in, and I didn't care less for any of them, to be honest with you. I didn't care less for Diana or anyone from the Queen and Prince Charlie down. I didn't really care for any of them on screen. I just found it very bland, and I thought Kristen Stewart, I didn't think she was anything special. I mean, I've heard a lot of nice comments. She's okay, don't get me wrong, but I've seen better impersonations of Lady Diana, to be honest with you, and better sort of, if you like, what's the word? Characterizations. I mean, obviously Kristen Stewart's been asked to play it a certain way. She did it okay, but again, it just didn't come to life for me. Her role or the film in general. And the only time I actually thought there was anything of interest is when she was actually driving away at the end with her two boys at the end, where it got, obviously she was singing and they were singing along to a song at the end, and that's about the only bit of life in the whole film, and the almost 2 hours, which if you take out the credits, probably about an hour and 45 minutes, but it was very, very drab for me. I didn't enjoy it at all. Let me know what you think anyway. I'm not going to score this. I don't score it if I'm going to give it less than a 5, so I wouldn't give this any more than a 5. And as I said, I am in the minority, of course I am. There's lots of people who seem to like this. I just thought it's been a bit overhyped, and it just didn't live up to the expectations in my eyes. So I won't give it a score. Very disappointed. As I said, I do like these royal family, whether it's factual programs or fictional programs. I do quite enjoy them, but this was very, very bad and very, very miserable time for me. I just didn't enjoy watching. And I did it's one of those things where I didn't particularly do other things while I was watching it. I was trying to cling on for something interesting to happen and hoping I wouldn't miss it. But it was a lost cause for me, as I said, apart from that last 2 minutes where it brightened up a little bit. But a little bit too late then to rescue it in my eyes anyway, let's be honest about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do, rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. To meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps have a look at my Citizen channel, my football channel on my club Manchester City, wherever it is, on there or back on here. All I ever ask is please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.